Hi, John Dwyer here again, and welcome to module number 5 of our 12 module program, which is all about the WOW Manifesto Client Attraction Program, as if you needed to be told that. This number 5 is all about being outrageously different online. And as I said to you at the end of module 4, that is my nice way of saying, fix your awful website. Now, you might be the exception. You might be sitting there going, well, I do not have an awful website. In fact, it's converting quite well. Well, if that's the case, that's great. But if it's not converting well, then there's a good chance you're spending a lot of time and money on SEO, or maybe pay-per-click advertising on Facebook or Instagram, or maybe even in the offline world, you're driving traffic to your website, but it's not converting. And so therefore, basically, you're wasting a lot of time and a lot of money. Because if your website is not properly designed, and it doesn't have the direct response components that I'm going to show you in just a moment, there's a good chance you're wasting time and money bringing traffic to your website and they're not buying. So let me take you through the things that I think you need to consider when you are putting together a website. Now, first of all, I'm just reiterating there that your website is your director of first impressions. Okay, now it used to be Susie who answered the phone, hello, ABC Accountancy, or whatever it may have been. She's now being relegated to number 2. Your director of first impressions is, of course, your website. And, of course, it's the homepage. If I was to ask you, what was the most important page of a magazine, whether it's a woman's magazine or whether it's a TV magazine or architectural magazine or whatever, I'm guessing you would say, well, thank you, JD, what a stupid question. The most important page of any publication is, of course, the front page. So if I said to you, well, what was the most important page of your website? You would say the home page. Well, you wouldn't know it when you look at a lot of businesses' homepage. In fact, I guess 8 out of 10 that I look at have got an awful homepage. And as I said to you at the end of module number 4, the last person that you want to go to design a website for you is a website designer. Now, I know that if there's any website designers watching me right now, you're wanting to jump through your tablet or your iPhone or your computer and stab me in the eye with a pencil because I've just given you a hard time. And you again might be an exception. But, you know, for the most part, website designers that I've met, and I've met lots of them, are artists. They're graphic artists, and you know, they have technical skills online these days to put together a website, but they're creatives. And so therefore they might be very good at putting together a good looking website, and it might have the tonality and the brand persona that suits you, but it's still not designed in a way that's going to capture sales. And so therefore the person that you need to speak to when you're putting together a website is someone who understands marketing, preferably someone who understands direct response marketing. Oh, am I pointing to me? I'm sorry. So therefore, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you through now the sorts of components that you need on your homepage to keep people sticky, because once you've got them sticky on your homepage, you can send them off to your various sub-pages. It's very, very easy, okay? So let me just run through this. The point is that you want to cut to the chase. I've got here, so make the right impression by cutting to the chase and solving your visitor's problem right up front. Remember, they've come to your website because they've either Googled and you've come up in SEO, or they've reacted to one of your PPC, pay-per-click ads, and they've come through to your website. The whole idea is that once they're there, you've got to say to them straight up front, I understand your problem. I do. I understand your problem. So therefore, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give you the solutions to your problems. Okay. So therefore, let me bring you to point number 3. Okay. Ensure your homepage is engaging. And you're going, tell me something I don't know, JD. So yeah, that is a bit of a motherhood statement. I don't make many of those, but yes, it's got to be engaging. Number 1, you need a problem, solution, headline. You want to make sure that you grab them straight away. So for example, if you were a chiropractor, you might have the appropriate image of people with sore backs and sore necks and so forth, showing you, as a visitor, that you understand the problem that that person had. Because I'm guessing if you went to a chiropractor, you've either had a sporting injury or you're finding it hard to get out of bed of a morning because you've got a sore back or you've got a sore neck or sore arm or whatever it may be. So the imagery of before and after would be a really good idea. So you've got someone with a sore back and sore neck, and the headline would say something like, if you have a sore neck or sore back, you've got any aches and pains, then congratulations, you've come to the number 1 chiropractor service in the nation or in the state or in the city, and we've won awards, we've done this, that and the other, and we are very confident that we can provide you with a solution to your aches and pains really, really quickly. Now, it'll probably be a little bit more impactful than that, But the fact is that you want to make sure that straight away, right up front, and I'll be giving you a layout that I just put together before this video in just a moment, and I'll be bringing that up on the screen so you can pinch that layout and have your website homepage designed accordingly. Now, if it's not a problem solution headline, by the way, it might be a benefit driven headline. So if you say, well, look, in my instance, my clients are not necessarily suffering from a massive problem, but I tell you what, they're after a benefit. So if you can't come up with a problem solution situation or headline, I'm guessing 9 out of 10 can, but if you can't, it might be a benefit driven headline, okay? Use this product or this widget or this service and you will lose 10 pounds or 20 kilos or whatever it may be, or whatever your product or service delivers in terms of benefit. Now, number 2, you need to have a data capture facility on your homepage. And you might say, well, what's that? That's a bit of, mumbo jumbo advertising speak. What's a data capture facility? Normally it's either a contest or it might be a free report to capture the contact details of someone who's come to your dinner party being your homepage. And so therefore, on a previous module, you may have heard me bitching and moaning about the fact that in the offline world, there's hardly any restaurants out there worldwide that would ask you for your contact details when you've just spent $200 in their restaurant that night. There's hardly any retailer, Kmart, Walmart, Macy's, any of those retailers that ever ask you for your contact details when you buy something from them. A few of them have their VIP clubs, but that's a small percentage of their total audience. Go to McDonald's restaurant anywhere in the world and they will not ask for your contact details. Hardly anyone in the offline world asks for any contact details. Guess what? It's the same in the online world. When it's really, really simple to get them to put in their email address or their phone number and their name, we don't ask them. So therefore you need to have a panel on your homepage that would be perhaps a contest or maybe a free report. And in your instance, let's just say you were a kitchen renovator, you might have a free report on the 3 biggest mistakes that most people make when they deal with a kitchen renovation, okay? If you happen to be a, let me see. If you happen to be a builder of homes, it may be a free report on the 3 biggest mistakes that people make when they're, designing their new home. Or it might be the 3 biggest lies that most builders tell you when they're actually, pitching for your business. The whole idea is to make sure that it's a provocative style headline for your free report so that whoever's on there goes, well, geez, I want one of those. And they type in their name, their email, and more importantly, their cell number, because their cell number allows you to text them, okay? We know that open rates on emails are going down because we've all abused them. And so therefore, instead of putting up with a 10 or 15 or 20% open rate on your email, you can enjoy a 94% open rate on your SMS message within 3 minutes. So make sure you get their cell number. That's the most important form of communications these days. We haven't destroyed that like we have with emails. So therefore you're still getting worldwide about a 94% open rate on every text message that you send out. Like, that is incredible. Why would you even think about emails being your first port of call? Okay, so data capture facility. The third thing is an explainer video. You really do need to cut to the chase and provide a little 60-second or 90-second or maybe 2-minute explainer video. People say to me, look, how long should the explainer video be? And I say, well, if it was Robin Williams or Jim Carrey doing your explainer video, it can be, 15 minutes long because we will watch it. But if you're not as interesting as those people, then perhaps maybe the explainer video, whether it's a voiceover person with a series of carousel slides explaining your product, or whether it's a live video featuring you, probably a minute to 2 minutes, maybe maximum 3 minutes long, okay, explaining the benefits that people can have and enjoy by using your products or services. 3 biggest benefits, another panel. Now keep in mind the way that web pages are designed these days, very, very simple. It's just panel after panel after panel after panel. And so therefore basically you just go through those panels, and in this one here, problem solution headline, next panel, data capture facility, free report, next panel, explain the video. Sometimes that explain the video can be up here with your problem solution headline, just depends, 3 biggest benefits, and that would be, A, we're faster, B, we're, more cost effective, and C, we get the best results. I'm making that up, but whatever your 3 biggest benefits are, that's what you should highlight. Macca's menu board, which is my little phrase, but basically it's a menu of your products or services. So if you go to my webpage, which is theinstituteofwow.com, I've got a range of different clients or prospects that could come on board my coaching programs. It may well be a startup business that really needs help right from day one. It may be an established business, their sales have flatlined. It may be a franchisee, it may be a franchisor, it might be someone in services, it might be someone in products and so forth. So when you go to the instituteofwow.com and you can have a look at my website, you'll see as you scroll down the home page, I have a Macca's, which I've just called McDonald's, Macca's menu board. And it just says, are you a startup? Click here. And if they click there, they'll go through to a sub-page where there's a video from me talking to them in startup language. Okay, I won't be using too many, highfalutin boardroom phrases. I will be talking to them like you would talk to someone who's starting up a business, okay? Very basic level. If they happen to be an established business, but sales are flatlined, then I'm probably going to, when they click that button and go through to that sub-page, I'm going to talk to them on that video in their language, and so on and so forth. If they're a franchisee, I'll talk to them in franchisee language. So think about your homepage, if you've got multiple products and maybe multiple audiences, of having a Macca's menu board with 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 squares that actually gives them a brief rundown on what that product or service is. They click on that and go through to an explanatory subpage. Okie dokie, and then last but not least, client testimonials. And I've been through this on one of my other modules. If you're going to do a client testimonial or get client testimonials, make them video. You can see just with me waving my hands around and the inflection in my voice and going up and down and getting excited about certain things, then it's much more impactful than if I was just giving this to you in writing. Now, you can get all of this in writing because you're a member of the program. Remember, the blueprint is available for you to download, and you'll see a whole bunch of examples and a whole bunch of stuff in there to do with, creating a powerful sales-driven website. But the fact is, this video gives me the opportunity to wave my hands and get excited about certain things and point to a slide and so on and so forth. So video testimonials is where it's really at. Now, let me actually take you through to a layout of a page that I put together for you so you get the feeling on this. Let me just come that back. Okay. So therefore, you'll see on the screen here, I'm going to go through those components that I've just taken you through, and I've just sketched this up very, very quickly before our video, so therefore please don't take the drawing skills literally here. This was just a quick sketch. But you'll see here that I'm suggesting that on the web page you'd put your, your ID and your logo, typical, normally on the top left-hand corner. Please put your phone number up here. Don't hide your phone number down the base of the page where they're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to eventually find your phone number. Why? Because if there's someone who's come onto your website and they're warm or they're hot, because they've had a recommendation from someone else, or they've just searched you out and said, yeah, this is the place I want to deal with, let them find your contact detail, as in your phone number, right up front. And likewise, you'd probably put your email address there as well, info at, or whatever it may be, sales at. So therefore, if you've got any social media direct links like Facebook and Instagram and so forth, there's no problem in putting those sort of links up here as well. You've got your menu bar there. There's nothing particularly new about that. Here's the problem solution thing. So for example, in my instance on the Institute of Wow, I think my one says something like, if your sales are flatlined and you're after killer marketing concepts or marketing strategy, then you're at the right place. And then I will have a explainer video there. So this is the explainer video. It can be in the middle of the page, it can be on that side or that side. Please don't take this literally. This is just a quick sketch to show you the menu sort of platform of how you can put together a pretty engaging homepage. Then after this, and when you look at this, by the way, and any website designer will tell you this, with responsive design websites these days, which means that it's suitable for smartphones or tablets or PCs or your computer at home. It's just panel after panel after panel after panel. So what you've got to decide is, well, what's the most important panel? Because normally it would go up front. The second most important panel would be number 2. The third most important, and so on. Okay, now you may decide that you want to swap this around and that your menu, like this is the Macca's menu down here, might come up number 2. And if you feel that's the case, then that's fine. But please just make sure that you've got these components on your homepage. Now, if you said to me, well, where would the fold be? Because the most important part of your website is above the fold. And the fold is normally, if that was my computer screen here, the fold would be there. Okay, so therefore, if this was opening up a website right now, I would probably be seeing around about up to there before the fold. I'd be seeing the problem solution or benefit driven headline, and maybe the explainer video, and maybe most of the free report invitation, and then you would scroll. So therefore, this particular homepage here might scroll 2 or 3, maybe even 4 computer screens. Now, I know that you might be sitting there going, well, with smartphones these days, the stuff being really, really good above the fold is not as important as it used to be when we were just looking on, laptops, computers. Well, no, that might be the case, but still nearly half of all websites are being looked at, and depending upon what date you're looking at this, it may, sort of the inroads of iPhones, maybe even more now, but in a lot of the cases, you're going to find 40 to 50% of people might be looking at your website on a PC, on a computer, so that really important thing about keeping all your good stuff above the fold is important. So therefore, the next panel would be the free report, and normally it's the 3 biggest mistakes or the 3 biggest lies or the 3 biggest whatever, so that it's somewhat provocative and it's going to take, for example, if I was a kitchen renovator, an Italian kitchen renovator, and I used this, I know, in one of my previous modules, but let's just say I was into renovating kitchens for people, and I was upmarket Italian kitchen renovator, and I was dealing with granite and all sorts of stuff, marble and all sorts of stuff for kitchen benches. I think what I would do is, I know they're coming onto my website because they're interested in renovating their kitchen with an upmarket look. Don't you think my free report would be a free report, the 3 biggest lies that most kitchen renovators tell you about that granite bench top? Hint, hint, it's not really from Italy. I bet you it's from China. Now, the moment I've cast that doubt in someone's mind and they're on my website for one reason only, because they're interested in renovating their kitchen, do you think they're going to download that free report? Of course they will. And the moment they download that, then within an hour I'm SMSing or I'm ringing them to say, how can I help you? Which will freak them out because they'll forget that they've given me their details. Really, really easy. Okay, so that's collecting data. The 3 biggest benefits: you're either fast, you're big, you deliver, basically guaranteed results, and whatever it may be, whatever your 3 biggest benefits are, try to make it 3 or 5. Don't make it even numbers, 2 and 4. Don't ask me why. It's been split tested over and over and over again by people like me. 3 and 5 work much better than 2 or 4. And then, of course, this is your Macca's menu board. Now, I've just got 4 boxes there. It might be 5, it might be 6. So you might, for example, as an accountant, you might have bookkeeping services, you might have tax minimisation services, you might have wealth creation services, you might have property development services, so on and so forth. So therefore, what you do is that I've just called this, for the sake of a name, Macca's menu board, because when we go into McDonald's, we know we'll just look up meal number 3, thank you. And that's what this is all about. It gives people the opportunity on your homepage just quickly pick what they want. And of course, it just depends on your business, how many of these options you might give them. It might be 3, it might be 4, it might be 6, it might be 8. Okay. And then last but not least, video testimonials. Now, because I've sketched this just before we've done this video, I didn't put a headline on that, but really here it would say something like, just don't take our word for it. Look what these, clients have got to say about our products or services. And then you'd have 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it might be, video testimonials there. They don't have to be individual testimonials. It can be one video box where they can, basically click that and have a montage of 2 or 3 people, one after the other, saying nice things. It's entirely up to you. But can you see there, this is a direct response-driven website. And this is quite the opposite from an information-based website. You don't want an information-based website. You want a website that's a 24/7 salesperson for your business. You want to make sure that, when someone has either clicked your pay-per-click ad, which you're paying for, or they've found you through SEO, or they've found you through recommendations or anything, they come to a homepage which keeps them sticky. It grabs them with a big problem solution headline or benefit-driven headline. It captures their data. It tells them why they should be dealing with you. It then gives them a menu of all the wonderful things you can do for them. And then, just in case you're still just a little skeptical, they've got 2 or 3 or 4 video testimonials from excited clients telling them just how fantastic you or your services or your products have been for them. Can you see it flows? And it just makes so much more sense than just a website designer giving you a big, pretty picture of normally a blurred vision. It's a blurred graphic. I don't know why the blurred thing comes in, but they just do that. So hopefully this has been of a big help to you. And look, at the end of the day, you cannot deny that in the world we live in right now, your website is your director of first impressions. It's the most important communication tool for your business, and you've just got to make sure that you give, the attention to your homepage that it deserves. Because if your homepage has a high bounce rate, you're in big trouble. And there's a good chance that you're watching this right now and you're saying, JD, I'm taking down some notes, but bounce rate? What do you mean bounce rate? Well, your bounce rate is the percentage of people who come onto your homepage and bounce before they go to any other pages. So therefore, if your bounce rate is sitting at 30 or 40%, that's not too bad. We have to accept that people go shopping online these days, and that's acceptable. But if your bounce rate is in the 50s, 60s or 70%, that means if you were in the old days and you had a corner shop and your bounce rate online is 75%, that would be 75% of people opening the front door of your little shop, and the little bell goes ting, 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 ting. They look inside your shop, a delicatessen or butcher shop, whatever it might be, and go, no, don't like it, and off they go again. Now, that would be nuts. If you were in a real world, bricks and mortar business, and you had 3/4 of, the total people that come into your shop leave within 30 seconds, I think you'd be looking at the layout of your shop. Okay, I think you'd be thinking, hang on, I think we better put this stuff back there, we better put some sexier stuff up front so that when they open the door of our shop, they'll stay in the shop. Well, it's the same with this. If your bounce rate is sitting at 65 or 70 or 75, goodness me, most of the people who come onto my coaching programs don't know their bounce rate. So get into Google Analytics and have a look at what your bounce rate is. If you can't do that yourself, then of course just talk to whoever's looking after your website and they can do it for you. If your bounce rate is high, it means that your homepage is boring. It means that all the messaging that you have on your homepage is not capturing their attention, and you need to fix that fast. And look, the thing is that we have to acknowledge, all of us these days, that as the director of first impressions, our homepage of our website just has to be sexy, has to be attractive, and it has to be sticky so that people, when they come on, get turned on by this and they stay with us and surf through to our subpages. Hopefully you found this to be of great benefit. I'm just going to tell you what our next one is. This was module number 5. Number 6 is all about events. So make sure that you look out for that. The events that I'll be talking about is real world events, holding seminars, maybe holding tapas dinners to invite prospects to your world. But moreover, using technology like we are right here now, and that is considering holding podcasts on a regular basis, holding webinars on a regular basis, and holding Facebook Lives on a regular basis so that you are selling once to many. Doesn't matter whether you're into widgets or whether you're into service, doesn't matter whether you're blue singlet or whether you're white collar, you have to be thinking about events, and not just offline events as in, glasses of wine and cheese and snacks, but rather online events like podcasts, webinars and Facebook Lives. Look forward to seeing you at the next module, which is all about how to run events.